fellow Toastmasters and guests. Have you ever wondered or had this within you when you're sitting behind your desk and pondering to yourself, am I supposed to be here? Or what do I have to do in order to get a promotion or go for further studies? And you begin to ask yourselves these questions, but you never actually had the chance to take the step of faith and always doubting yourself. Well, my fellow Toastmasters, my name is Stotick Kaprangi. I'm here today to talk to you about my experience and why I chose the path of motivational strategies. I believe there's something that I could share in my experience and something that, that's really driven me to be where I am today. I'm from Papua New Guinea. For those who don't know, it's an island just on top north of Australia. It consists of about 7 to 8 million people. We have about 800 languages, 20 provinces. Maybe you can check it later and let me know what you think of the place. But for me personally, I'd like to share my story. 5 years ago, I was sitting behind my desk thinking to myself, how do I get a promotion? What do I need to do? So after working for about 3 years for the same company, I felt like I wasn't going anywhere. I didn't feel the drive, I didn't feel the energy. So I began to just work. And back in 2014, I had the opportunity where my immediate manager had moved on outside the company, and I knew that, okay, this is my opportunity. But then, the moment the person you knew that had the authority in all the companies tells you in your face that you need to mature, I don't think you're ready for it yet, it just feels like a ton of bricks just comes crashing down on you. And that's the way I felt. I felt like I was suppressed. I felt like, I wouldn't go anywhere. There was no hope for me. So, when you're given in this situation, when you're put in this situation, you begin to think, it could open up a can of worms to a negative performance, or, you could accept the pushback and be positive and take it as a challenge. So that's what I did. These 6 words kept beating in my mind. You never know unless you try. So that was when I decided, I've got nothing to lose. Why don't I just apply for some jobs outside the company which I'm working in? So I did that. But then I felt that education was barking at me more than a promotion. I felt that in order for me to grow, I needed to educate myself. I needed to build my skills. And fellow Toastmasters, being in Toastmasters was part of it. Building my communication skills would eventually build my confidence, and I believe that my leadership skills would also improve. So, upon applying, a couple of weeks later, I received some positive feedbacks. I had 3 interviews in 3 different companies in 3 weeks. Wow, I thought to myself, if I hadn't tried, I would have known. So, after a couple of months, it was 2015, eventually I moved on. I moved on to this new company, I was working, but then I got the great news that I was shortlisted for an Australian Award Scholarship. I thought to myself, wow, if I hadn't tried, I wouldn't have known. So, I decided to sit for the entry test, and as I know it, I got shortlisted, and I got awarded a scholarship. I was amazed. Unfortunately for the new company I joined, I had to resign and be excused, but I knew that, it was something of the greater good within me, something that I knew that it would help me grow, not just personally, but professionally in the field that I'm in, as an internal auditor. And I could give back to the professional community by building my skills in being part of Toastmasters and also studying here at USQ and doing a master's degree. So my fellow Toastmasters, the exception of a negative feedback is always positive. So whenever someone tells you that it cannot be done, just tell them, you never know unless you try.